Hi, I'm Sam.
And I'm Max.
And this is Movies Actually, where we give you an honest review of the movies we've meddled with so mischievously over at Maybe Movies. And this time, we're talking about Twilight. The 2008 film based on the book of the same name by Stephanie Meyer and featuring the efforts of Robert Pattinson, Kristen Stewart, Billy Burke and Tyler Lautner.
And an honourable mention for Sarah Clarke as well.
Of course, of course. And just before we get started, I'd just like to say thank you once again, little bro, for such a wonderful idea. Thank you.
You do realise that I'd managed to quite easily avoid ever having to watch this film until this. So,
Yes.
thanks.
Yes.
You can go first.
Okay. Let's start with the nice stuff. It's competently shot in places.
Mm-hmm.
Soundtrack's not terrible.
No, there is something going on with the music.
Yeah, the
I'd
music's
agree
not
with that.
terrible. Help, I'm running out of things.
Well, from having a quick look online, as I like to do before these, just to kind of get a bit of an idea, it's a good thing. It's kind of robbing Peter to take Paul to say that most of the positive comments about this are about how accurate it is to the source material.
Yeah. Unfortunately, that's a lot of what I have to say.
And that's what the general consensus was. I think I read somewhere there was one of the reviewers, I think possibly from Hollywood Reporter, had said of it is that fans of the series will appreciate the attention to the original source material, but it's not likely to bring in new viewers or new fans.
Yeah, I mean, it is... Yeah, if I'm going to be fair to it, it is one of the most faithful adaptations I have ever seen. I'll give it that. It only changes a handful of things in the entire run of the movies.
Apparently she was on set as well, Stephanie Meyer. They had her there as a
consultant.
Yes.
Yeah.
Continuity consultant.
What else can I say? For the most part, the actors did their jobs well. Unfortunately, a great deal of the problems with this movie lie with the material that it's coming from.
Yeah, the dialogue's pretty bad.
It's dialogue, situations, and again, just to be fair to those of you out there, if you're looking for a slightly supernatural romance movie that skews really heavily towards the female perspective, then thumbs up, go fill your boots. You're probably going to enjoy it. I did not enjoy this.
Yeah, for anybody who's actually a vampire fan,
No. It's moving further away from vampires being scary monsters and further into the territory of them being shiny, sparkly pets.
Pretty much.
Yes. Oh.
That's about it.
This film. I'm trying to be polite here. I'm trying not to get too profane.
I know that you have more of a history with the Twilight saga as a whole, don't you? I mean, literally, this bit for me is nice and easy. I watched this because Sam's brother suggested that we do it on the show.
Yes,
that's the only reason why I've ever watched this film.
Right. Well, my introduction to the whole thing was a little bit different. I had a friend who used to work for a book company, and I used to get a bag full of books for her for every Christmas. And one year, I got an editor's copy of the first Twilight book. Sat down, read it. Yeah. Interesting take on vampires. Not much else to say. And I moved on with my life. And then, of course, it exploded. Everybody got into it, including my mother, who then insisted that I couldn't possibly judge them on the basis of one book, and I had to, in fact, read them all before I could judge them. And then, having done that, I then had to watch the bloody films so that I could honestly say that I'd watched them and I knew I didn't fucking like them! Sorry.
Breathe.
Just wait for my pulse to come down a little.
Get it out your system.
Yeah.
Share it to the nice people at home.
So I've read all of the books and I have seen all of the films. No,
it's not. Again, it's one of those things. I mean, obviously, you know, we're doing this in 2023. Okay, yeah, it's hardly current affairs, is it?
No, this isn't news to anybody.
No, it's just, as I said, for me, it was just really finally getting to watch it and seeing how bad it might actually be. And what I found is, again, as you said, there is some really nice kind of scenic and panoramic shots in this. You know, the locations are pretty fantastic.
Yeah, yeah.
There is one scene in it that I thought, actually, I quite like that.
Yeah, you see, now tonight was my third time watching it, and every time I watch it, I'm finding more and more flaws. I couldn't stop noticing what I can only describe as ADHD editing. Within the first 3 minutes of the film, I felt like I should be having a seizure. There was just so many quick cuts, and they weren't telling the story. They were just there to, I don't know, keep things moving, but I don't understand the purpose. I don't understand the purpose of so much of that editing. I mean, there was an emotional scene, and it was long cuts of them back and forth, and then suddenly there's all these quick cuts with swooping shots from a crane around them and stuff like that.
Yeah,
for about 30 seconds, and then it goes back to these long cuts of them having this conversation.
Yes,
I've no idea what the purpose of that was.
It jars completely with the tone of the particular scene.
Absolutely,
because that was around the same point where you've got them where it looks like they're about to have their first kiss. And then the camera pans up, and now anybody who's had more than, say, like 10 or 15 years experience of watching movies, especially kind of older movies, will know if the camera is panning away from your characters at the moment of making physical contact, that normally means they're going to bang.
Time to do the nasty.
Is that what's going on there? Because, you know...
It sort of seems to indicate that, but then it immediately cuts to them just being lovey-dovey.
Yes.
And it doesn't feel like there was a time jump there. That felt like that was the same scene.
Yeah.
What was going on? And some of the framing, I've seen similar work on the CW.
It started here.
Well, yeah, it's arguable that style was started here. Who knows? It's arguable.
And I think Forks High School needs to get some new teachers who are just quite happy to let their students wander off into the woods in the middle of the school day.
Yeah, yeah.
Nobody's parents are called.
Just literally, clearly walking off the grounds in front of the school building, where all the windows are and where all the teachers must be able to look out and see these people going, oh no, they're leaving the school grounds. No, nothing for me to worry about.
But of course, the best, I think the only time in this, both times that I did chuckle, is where he refers to them as vegetarian vampires, and all I'm seeing in my head is Count Duckula.
Yes.
That would be a mashup. Oh dear.
No, we can't.
Sorry, it's one of those things. If you're a Twilight fan, then yeah, you've probably seen it. If you haven't, then go and watch it. If you're not, then again, save yourself an hour and 56 minutes of your life.
Yeah. It's very heavy on the romance. So if that's your thing, fill your boots.
But unfortunately, again, as you were saying when we were watching it earlier, there's so much stuff, again, that will make sense to somebody who's read the book, but it's just completely omitted, and so it's just when you watch certain scenes out of context, you're just like, yeah, but this, and this. Oh, but it's in the book.
Yeah, I literally had to do that 4 or 5 times while we were watching the movie to explain plot holes, or apparent plot holes in the story, because it wasn't explained at all.
I think, obviously, after that, I am thankful for the montages now. As we were saying, I'm thankful that we don't hear what their dialogue is in those montage moments.
Yeah, they had to montage that because most boyfriends sitting through this would have been considering seppuku at this point. You know?
I have nothing else. The only 2 pieces of trivia that I could find out about it, which is from IMDb, was when Rosalie breaks the bowl.
Yes.
She's wearing gloves because she actually did cut her hands in a previous take.
That's why she's wearing the gloves. Yeah. Right, okay, I did notice the gloves.
And the other thing was, I think in that same scene, they had to keep reshooting it because one of the other actors kept walking in and picking at the food.
Oh, no. Oh, come on, guys. Be professional.
But that's about so that's it. They are the only 2 bits of trivia on IMDb for Twilight.
Yeah.
Honestly, mate, I've got nothing else. I'm done.
All right, let me think for half a second. Do I have anything else to say here? Do I have anything else to add?
I suppose the only thing I would add is about it is, regardless of how bad a film it is, it gave a number of good actors a start in Hollywood.
Yeah. Although we can all agree that that doesn't include Kristen Stewart.
Of course.
Right, okay.
Again, I was primarily thinking about Robert Pattinson, because obviously I didn't really know him from anything apart from this.
Oh, see, I knew him from Harry Potter, but he went from Harry Potter to this.
Okay.
So.
Yeah, but because the first thing that I ever saw him in was The Rover. It was him and Guy Pearce.
Oh, okay.
And his performance in that was, I was like, what, this is the guy from Twilight?
No, I've
really?
always quite liked Robert Pattinson. I could see he had talent when he did Goblet of Fire. And although he must have been put under some of the most awkward direction whilst making this film, you could still see him making a sincere effort to do his best for it.
Yeah.
You know, it does come through in his performance. Unfortunately, the material he's working with is just so wank that there's not a lot to be done with it.
Yeah, pretty much.
All right, yeah, I think I've said everything now.
Fantastic. So, well, again, if you're a fan, you've probably seen it. If you're not a fan, you'll probably never see it. So thank you for spending the time to actually join us and hear what we have to say about it. It's not even worth 2. It gets 1 from me.
No, I've got to give it all of the boo. All of the boo.
See, I don't...
All of the boo.
I don't... It's not that I don't like it. I don't hate it. But it's just... It's too... I'm not visceral enough about the film to give it 2. That seems like too much effort for something that...
I have raged from the entire series.
Justified. Absolutely justified. I think the only thing that I've really got left to say is that Carlisle's not a bad master vampire, but Victor is the boss.
Yeah, I was gobsmacked when I saw it, but yeah, damn, he pulls it off.
Yeah. But more on that next time. Thanks for joining us again, and we'll see you soon.
As always, guys, TTFN.
Yeah? She's a slut. Bang.